People always ask me, Jesse, how do I get the most out of my mind and body? And I train people from all over the world and from all kinds of different walks of life who are trying to get a better night's sleep, better focus, better performance as athletes or in other aspects of life, and people who are stressed out and just want to live a happier, better, longer life. And this is quite literally why I developed the language of breath system. But to learn breath work, to really understand how this stuff works, you have to understand two things before you start anything else. The first thing is this, that your mind and your body are not different things. It's all you. So often we think of, okay, this is where I am. I am my thinking self, and my body is kind of this, fleshy robot that I direct around and I can tell what to do. And it's almost like this body of yours is something other than you. And the reality is that your conscious self is still you. That's still you. Just go ahead and touch. Yes, that's Jesse. This is Jesse, as much as this is Jesse. And this Jesse, this non-conscious part, this part that is my physiological self, it really likes me. And your physiology, it really likes you too. Oftentimes it makes mistakes, it misinterprets information. And that's where your conscious self says, no, why are you doing all this wrong? You're stupid, bad you, bad me. And this is how we can have a really bad relationship with ourselves. And so oftentimes you hear people talking about, okay, I'm going to learn how to control my body. And that's the worst way to look at it. And I've said it myself. I'm guilty of saying it myself. I want to control my body. The second thing you need to understand follows from the first thing, and it is that instead of learning to control your body, you have to learn how to live in harmony with it, okay? So your conscious self and your physiological self have to learn how to live in harmony, how to have a symbiotic relationship as opposed to just really a bad relationship, a relationship of friction. Now, how do you do that? To do that, you have to learn the language that your physiology speaks. And you have to learn how to speak back to your physiology. It's not as simple as like, I'm just gonna think happy thoughts or I'm gonna think, okay, digest better or sleep better, or we have to learn how to listen. So what language is the physiology speaking to us? We have to learn that language so we can actually be informed as to what the physiology is trying to do for us. Secondly, we have to learn how to speak to the physiology. So that language is breath. That is the essence of breath work. However, so often we just learn techniques. And the technique is kind of like learning a phrase in a language. And it's like, where is the bathroom? Or what are we having for lunch? So we learn these techniques and hey, great, we're telling the physiology something. But have you ever tried to have a conversation? Have you ever tried to work with someone and all you knew how to do was tell that person things and you could never understand what that person was saying back to you? That is not going to be a strong relationship. Yes, that person might understand you and maybe it's a better relationship than if you didn't speak at all. But if you really want to have a symbiotic relationship, if you really want to work as a team, you have to learn how to listen and how to speak. And that is the language of breath system that I teach in my online course, in my workshops, and to my personal clients. If you sign up for the 6-week online course, we're doing this online. If you take a look at the link below, I take you step by step through 6 weeks, and every week we meet for 2 hours. I guide you through how to listen to your physiology and how to speak to it with the language of breath. Now, the interesting thing is everyone has a little bit different of a relationship with their physiology and their conscious self. So for some people, certain techniques are going to do one thing and it'll say, hey, this is what I want you to do. But for other people, those same techniques will not be received in the same way. And so we have to learn how this relationship can be started. We really have to learn how that relationship works. Try to say something to my physiology in the language of breath. And now I'm going to see if I can listen to what the physiology says back. So we learned this in 6 interactive and very experiential sessions. You're gonna learn a lot of techniques, you're gonna learn a lot about yourself, and at the end of this course, you'll understand how to work with your physiology so you have the relationship with yourself, a symbiotic relationship. So you're not constantly working against yourself, you're working with yourself. So I wanna invite you to join the 6-week online course, and that is the language of breath, learning how to speak the language and to listen at the same time. Take a look at the link below. I can't wait to see you in class.